Does the MiG-29 need a buff? Well, let's talk a little bit about it while we test some of the things. It's been kind of a common thing to talk about the MiG-29 as it is a bad aircraft right now, right? But I don't consider it a bad aircraft. I just consider that maybe the implementation of it on the flight model is a little bit weird, and you will know what I mean about that. There are multiple sources claiming different things about this flight model that is wrong or right or whatever, but from what I could gather, I think there is one main change that I would like to see added for the MiG-29. This includes the SMT, but also the 913, the normal Russian one, and the 912s as well, like the G variant and the normal German and Hungarian one, right? So what is that? Well, if you go to the manuals and Gordon Yeffin's books and many other sources, they all claim that the MiG-29 had an interesting flight control system. So how it worked, it basically is hybrid system between a normal cable system and a fly-by-wire, right? So basically how it would work is that there is indeed cables and hydraulic systems connected to the cables and stuff to the stick itself, but at the same time, these commands pass over a fly-by-wire system or a computer to actually make you do certain things in a safer way, I must say, right? You could turn it off completely, but even with it, you could still do some weird things with the aircraft, right? And that's where I think it's kind of weird in the game right now. Just like the F-16 is kind of weird right now because it feels like it doesn't have a fly-by-wire, right? So what it is exactly? Well, if you take a look on the manuals and stuff that I was talking about, you will see a number popping a lot, and that is the max AOA limit of the aircraft itself. The max AOA that you can actually pull on the aircraft without doing too much damage to your flight path or your aircraft itself or your pilot and everything. And you can see weird thing happening there, because for the majority of the MiG-29s, it is initially 24 degrees, stuff like that, but eventually it gets to 26, and even like the SMT, if I'm not mistaken, you could pull safely 28 degrees. Does that mean that it's the absolute max that the aircraft could pull in real life? No, but it was the safety limit that normally they would use in normal flight operations, right? And if you do that, we are with real-time information in War Thunder over here. It's an app, right? If you pull the max that you can pull, you will see right up there, right on top of there, you will see that the max AOA that you can pull normally without using for real control or anything will be 22 degrees. So this is one of the things that I think is missing from this aircraft. Is not even that you cannot pull more, because if you put the full real control, look at this, look at the AOA. You could pull the 40, 50 degrees that in real life the MiG-29 could in combat operations, and you would be able to control it in a stick to be able to only pull the 26 or 28 depending on the version. That would be the max AOA limit of this aircraft, meaning that the AOA that you can pull with the full real control is actually pretty accurate, and you can do some very, very interesting maneuvers with it. The problem is that we have an instructor, or we have a limitation in the normal mouse aim that limits to 22 degrees, which means that you will only be able to pull a certain amount, and if you do a full real control, you can pull a lot more. As you see right here, it can be dangerous. That's why they have these limits in the mouse aim, right? But at the same time, they could put the mouse aim to do that a little bit better and be able to pull at least what is claimed to be the safety numbers on the actual manuals, right? So at least make you be able to pull the 26 or 28 degrees of AOA in a normal mouse aim. At least that would mean that the aircraft could actually pull a little bit more. Yes, of course it would lose more energy, just like an F-16 would lose more energy, right? But the thing is, you being able to control this loss of energy, being able to pull more or less, would be way better for the aircraft and for the pilot. This is what I could draw that it's indeed a weird implementation. Like I said, it's not like the flight model itself doesn't pull more AOA and more degrees per second, but it's more of a limitation of the mouse aim, which is kind of funny to have, right? So with the full reel, you could do a pull like this and fire a missile, for example, and kind of do a Cobra, for example, right? Even in the lower position. So if we test, for example, the 912, for example, let's grab the 912, the limit will still be there. As you see, for example, I'm trying to pull more and more over here, and you will see that the limit on AOA is 22 degrees, which is something that it's not realistic. It doesn't matter if you're gonna lose more energy or not. You being able to have this light nose to do whatever maneuver you want is important to win a dogfight sometimes, and the mouse aim is really limiting. Again, if you do a full reel control pull, I mean, you can do the 40 degrees. You can control the aircraft. That's the funny part. Look at this. I'm in a kind of a post-stall maneuver, but look at this. I'm still controlling the aircraft somewhat, right? It's not like the aircraft itself doesn't go there. It's just that the mouse aim limits your ability to go close to that. I'm not asking for 40 degrees of AOA to do with the mouse aim when you do this. This would be basically unplayable. But be able to pull the 26 or 28 degrees would help a lot, right? This is only my opinion. I'm sure that a lot of other people found different other problems with this aircraft. Again, it's not that the flight model for me is wrong. It's more like the MiG-29 just has a limitation on the mouse aim, on the amount of the nose authority that you have. Something that, for example, the F-16 doesn't have anymore. It did have a while back with the mouse aim, right? When the fly-by-wire was properly working, the aircraft could not pull more than 9 Gs or something. But then they just removed that, and the aircraft now can pull, what, 16 Gs or something like that, 14 Gs? So this would help create an environment where the pilot will control properly how much AOA and how much energy you want to lose, how much you want to pull, because something like an Su-34 and F-16, it doesn't matter if you're losing energy. The important part is that you're putting your nose into the enemy, and you can destroy it with the helmet and other things because of that, right? So it's kind of an important feature in my opinion. So yeah, guys, basically this is it. Let me know in the comments what you think about this, and look at the flight mode of this thing. It's just crazy how you can like do flat spins and stuff with the MiG-29 in normal circumstances. The aircraft is pretty good in full reel control, but in the mouse aim is just pretty limited. So hopefully they fix that eventually. They did fix a little bit of the Su-27 last patch, so let's hope they do that with the MiG-29 in the future, right? So yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully I was clear enough about what I was saying, and yeah, I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, and bye guys, see ya.